Welcome back to another week of Instigating with Clarkie and Drury. Ryan Drury here, joined by Chris Clark. As always, we are brought to you, as always, by our great friends at Coolbet Canada, the Listowel Squash Courts. We're going to hear from them later. Our buddy Al's going to be on to chat about a great event happening this weekend. And, of course, our new friends at Hudson's here in Listowel. Hudson's has it. Hudson's Chevrolet Buick GMC. Larry Hudson's for all your car needs. You can see Clarkie there, or you can just go there, walk in. You need a new vehicle. Hudson's has it. We'll hear from them later as well. We are very pleased to be joined by our great friend, the one, the only, the magnificent Ian Doig. Doigy, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me back. It's been a while.
It has been a while. It really has. And obviously we're all kind of getting ready for golf season to resume. Everybody looking forward to the Masters and all the majors. But of course, lots of news surrounding the new entity that is Live Golf, and some pretty big news this week. They've got a US TV deal now. I believe it's with CW Network. So now they have a dedicated partner to broadcast their tournaments in North America. What does this mean for the overall landscape of Live Golf and really the sport as a whole in your mind, Doigy? Because a lot of people thought this was going to be a flash in the pan. It seems like it's not going anywhere.
No, it's not going to go anywhere. It's here to stay. I think this TV deal is big. If you really dig into the TV deal, what I find is very interesting, that the parent company of CW also owns a 12.5% share of Paramount and one of the other networks that actually puts PGA Tour events on. So I find that that's very interesting. That leads me to believe that there is down the road somewhere, maybe not in the next year, but maybe 2 years from now, there's going to be a marriage of these tours. PGA Tour can't exist with 20 or 30 of the best players in the world playing on another tour. It just doesn't work. PGA Tour is trying to advertise that they're the best tour in the world, but you've got 20 of the best players in the world playing on another tour. They'll come together.
So it sounds like, having what you just said, that Live Golf has won this battle.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface of it, it'll be interesting to see what the legalities come out of it over the next period of time. My personal belief is that most of those are going to disappear because they're going to come together. If you listen to Rory McIlroy, who right from the start was like, get rid of this tour, finish it and everything. He's now saying things like, maybe we need to get guys to sit down together and talk about things, right? So he has totally changed his position on it. And I think it makes sense. I mean, I did a little bit of work today. Here's a question for you. How many, what they call full member players are on the PGA Tour right now, without counting the guys that have left to go to Live Golf? There's 214 that are considered full members. But the tournaments that they play on the PGA Tour, the largest field that they play with is 156. So there's 60 players every week that don't have a place to play. And then if you go and look at the invitationals, like the Bay Hill Invitational, Arnold Palmer's tournament, that's a field of 120. So now there's 100 guys that don't have a place to play that week. And they're screaming about live golf and what they're doing and everything. All you have to do is you look at the PGA Tour since last June. They've changed 19 of their policies. They've raised their money. They're paying players up front now. And you know what? That was all brought on by Live Golf.
Doigy, where can our country maybe factor into the future of expanding the game, more tournaments, more opportunity for guys to play? I mean, the RBC, it came back and did well last year. I don't think that a lot of guys on the tournament, a lot of good players came up and played, as they always do, but there are a lot of guys that don't consider it a marquee event. Where can our country potentially edge in and push for more events up here to make Canada a more consistent, not necessarily marquee destination on the golf calendar, but where do you see the future in our country in the perspective of these new TV deals and a potential marriage of the major tours?
Okay, so first of all, let's look at Live Golf. I mean, Live Golf could come to Canada and host an event or two in Canada, no problem. And I think they would get good galleries and all that because there's a lot of golfers in Canada. The PGA Tour has no interest in coming to Canada. If we look
Why?
I don't know exactly what it is. I mean, if I were RBC, I'd be pretty disappointed in the PGA Tour now because
Yeah.
RBC came along and bailed out the Heritage Class in South Carolina. They have the Canadian Open. They elevated the purses on the Canadian Open to get it up there. They have all the players that wear RBC logo. And yet, when the PGA Tour came out with their new schedule for 2023, it's not one of the elevated events.
The joke.
So if I'm RBC, I'm looking at that going, that's just a slap in the face. Like that's telling us you don't care about us. So one of the things I've always said about the Canadian Open is this: years ago, in the minds of the players, and I'm talking, in the 50s and 60s and 70s, the Canadian Open was considered the fifth major. It was a national championship.
Yep.
Everybody came and played in it, especially after Palmer won in the 50s at Weston Golf Club.
And it had a good date too.
Yeah, and they always had good dates. If you didn't come and play in the Canadian Open, that was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And then Golf Canada, RCJ, whoever at the time, sold out to the PGA Tour and gave it to the PGA Tour to run as a PGA Tour event. And the minute that happened, then it just became another tournament. It's not considered the Canadian Open, even though that's what its name is, because it's not an open championship. We only have a 4-spot qualifier to get in it. Whereas the British Open, the Open Championship, only 70 players are exempt. The other 90 come from qualifiers. And same with the US Open. Half the field are qualifiers that qualify to play in it. The Canadian Open, it's called an Open Championship, but they have 4 spots that they give away to a qualifier. So it's not really a true Open Championship. I would like to see, if you think about the 4 majors, the 4 majors are run by 4 different entities. The Open Championship's run by the RNA. The Masters is run by Augusta National. The US Open is run by the USGA. And the PGA Championship is run by the PGA of America. PGA Tour has nothing to do with any of it. I would like to see the Canadian Open raise its purse with RBC's help, but become a individual entity event. And if the purse is big enough, the PGA Tour would say, you know what, we need that tournament on our schedule, and the players could come. That's what I would like to see happen with the Canadian Open. I don't think it ever will in my time, but I think that's where, if we could start getting Canadian golf to go in that direction, that would be good.
Doig, just off the top of your head, and you would know far better than I, what's a rough ballpark, maybe in your opinion, of golf courses in Canada that are capable of hosting that level of an event?
There's a dozen at least, if not more. I mean,
I'm having a hard time understanding why they're not trying to do more up here. There are a lot of people that love golf up here. Like they're missing an opportunity, in my opinion.
Well, they are. Now, one of the things that they've invested in is the PGA Tour Canada. And so they're trying to expand that and have more tournaments and everything. But I struggle with that because I haven't looked at the schedule for this year. It hasn't come out yet. But in the previous few years, the schedule has been 8 to 10 tournaments, okay, for $150,000 to $200,000 purses. Well, I was playing for $100,000 or $150,000 purses in Canada in 1988. And we're still playing for the same amount of purses. But then you start to look even deeper and you look at the fact that they have 5 or 6 qualifying tournaments for the PGA Tour Canada every year, where it's $3,000 US to enter, and they get fields of 140 in every one of them. So they're bringing in an enormous amount of money in entry fees, but they're not even paying out the same amount that they're bringing in. And that doesn't include the entry fees that each individual pays to play in the tournament, which is around $400. So it makes no sense to me that the PGA Tour isn't investing more money in larger purses on the PGA Tour Canada. So I don't know why that disconnect is there.
Yeah, it's very disappointing for sure. I wonder now, looking forward at the upcoming major schedule, be that PGA or now Live, because they're going to have a lot more eyes on them. And I wonder too, guys like Rory changing their stance a little bit. I mean, once guys like Cam Smith started floating over there, that was a pretty clear indication of the power and the pull that Liv has. As we look toward this year's schedule, who's a golfer maybe on your radar that not a lot of people maybe necessarily know yet as a household name, who you feel could really garner some star power this year?
Well, I might surprise you a little bit because he's probably well known in Canada now, but Taylor Pendrith.
Wow.
I really believe Taylor Pendrith is going to break out and do something crazy this year. I have a couple teams in pools, and he's on both of my teams that I've picked.
What is it about his game that you think is going to elevate him to that next kind of level? What's special about him?
He's always been a very strong driver of the golf ball, long, fairly accurate. He was hindered by injuries and stuff. You think about last year, he missed 3.5 months and still played phenomenally and played his way into the top 100, right? And that was after missing 3 or 4 months because of injury. So I think his upside is just too great. In my opinion, he's a no miss guy. He's going to make it big. I see him winning, actually, probably pretty quickly on the PGA.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. We're chatting with our friend Ian Doig. He is our golf expert on this show of the Ian Doig Golf Academy, longtime pro golfer. Clarky,
for our friend Doigie let's dig into Doigie.
Yes.
My good friend Doigie had a little scare there a month ago, and we're all very happy to see him up and around right now. But Ian, you're turning into a $6 million man with all the gadgetry you have in you. Just give us an update on what's been happening with you the last month or so, or go back even to the first time.
Yeah. So about 3.5 years ago, I had a very bad scare with heart issues, and I ended up with a pacemaker. And they put a pacemaker in, and then I had some difficulties after that where I was diagnosed. First of all, I had 2 pulmonary embolisms and came close to not being here because of that. And then subsequently was diagnosed with a rare disease called sarcoidosis, which is attacking me, which, you know what, we're fighting, we're doing okay on that. But this past summer, I started losing my energy, losing my ability to breathe well, especially walking up hills. And by the end of the summer, I was really, really struggling. So through some advocating for myself, I was able to get in to see some specialists. And unfortunately, I've got some severe deterioration in my left ventricle of my heart. And they had to take out the pacemaker and put in a defibrillator machine instead. So basically what they did is they ran 3 wires into my heart to help my heart pump. 2 of the wires run at 100% of the time. So without this machine, my heart would not pump on its own. So that's problematic. And it also works as a defibrillator machine, so that if my heart, one of the things that's being caused by all this is I'm susceptible to instant death. So I could drop dead at any second. So this machine now will shock my heart and hopefully start it back up, and I'll be okay. So yeah, it's been a little crazy. The surgery went really well. The surgeon was happy with it. The team was good. Unfortunately, a week after the surgery, I ran into complications with a large blood clot in my left arm. And that wasn't much fun, but we've got through that now, and we're on some blood thinners, and we're good to go. Worked out today for the first time in a few months. So felt pretty good, and doing some walking, 9K the other day. So yeah, feel good.
That's awesome. And
news,
obviously your health is number one, but you're a golfer, and there's a couple of ways I want to go here. First of all, what's your plan for this year on the golf course and taking part in some tournaments?
I'm really going to cut back big time. And I'll touch on part of the reason here in a second, but going forward, I'm going to play closer to home. I'm going to play Ontario PGA events and whatever Canadian PGA events that I can get into pretty easily. I'll play the Canadian Seniors, Canadian PGA Championship, Ontario PGA. Clark, I get to come up to your neighborhood, and
that's right.
I think it's in July for the Ontario PGA Seniors is at Listowel, so I'm looking forward to that. I haven't played Listowel since I was a kid, so that'll be a fun few days for me. And I'll still try and qualify for the U.S. Senior Open. I mean, that's a big one, but because of my stance with some of the stuff that PGA Tour and PGA Tour Champions has done over the last couple of years, where, I mean, the biggest one for me was I was an alternate at the finals at Q School a year ago, and they wouldn't let me play even though they started with 2 twosomes. And then in the summertime, the Calgary event started 5 short of a full field.
Mm-hmm.
And that just tells me that PGA Tour doesn't care about you unless you're a member of the tour. And I'm not going to give them any more of my money. Simple as that. I'm not going to try and qualify anymore.
And I don't blame you one bit.
No, absolutely.
What is your thoughts on a golf cart? I mean, obviously you said you were having trouble walking even last summer. Maybe hopefully it's better now, but what's your thoughts? I mean, we had a situation a few years back. Can't remember the guy's name that wanted to golf Casey Martin, right. Because of a issue with his leg, if I'm not mistaken. So what's your thoughts on that?
Personally, I don't like it. If I can't walk, now look at the senior events and the local events that I'm going to be playing in will allow me to a cart for the most part. So if I want to, I can probably take a cart most of the time. If the tournament calls for walking only, like the US Open, Senior Open qualifying, I will walk and I will not ask for a cart. I believe that walking is an integral part of the game. And if my body doesn't allow me to walk and compete, I don't need to be there. Simple as that.
Wow. I like it. Hard stance. Well, didn't John Daly use a cart recently? But correct me if I'm wrong, Doigy. That wasn't a PGA event. That was like an invitational thing, wasn't it?
Well, he did apply for a cart in some events, and he did get granted to allow him to use it, which I'm not so sure it's the right thing to do. I mean, JD is a character. JD is out of shape. He's overweight. He's
smoker.
He's fighting cancer and all that stuff. But you know what, JD, look after yourself. The reason your knees are sore is you're carrying 260 pounds around. Pretty simple.
Maybe ease off the Diet Cokes for breakfast, JD. Far be it from me to tell anybody how to live. And maybe cut back on the M&Ms for brunch. I don't know about that. I'm very excited about the event in Listowel, and just looking ahead in terms of booking for this show, producer Adam Clarkey, we have to be there. Like the show absolutely has to be there and do something. Whether we're following Doig around with a GoPro all day, I don't know what Clarkey, you can hold the camera, of course. We got to be there.
I might be caddying for him. I don't know.
Well, we may have to negotiate that, Clarkey.
Yeah, we would. We would. Well, you're staying here at my house, right? So we can figure something out.
Definitely going to have a barbecue and a couple beers.
Oh yes, that's already on the menu. Don't worry about that. We'll figure something out, Ryan.
Yeah, that's standard fare. We will be there, whether it's a segment or we do a whole show on it. We got to be there. It'll be incredible. And Doig, you are obviously very thankful and very stoked that your health is good right now. And I'm humbled by your positivity in the face of something like this. We're just really happy for you, man.
You know what, Ryan? There's no other option, right? If you get negative about it, you get depressed about it, you end up sitting on a couch out there and don't do anything. I'm going to go out and the heart's a muscle. So I'm going to work the muscle as much as I can and make it come back and be stronger. One of the things that the doctors did say with the last surgery is that they're hopeful, not a guarantee, but they're hopeful that what they've done could at least stop or slow down the deterioration of the left ventricle and maybe even reverse it some. So I'm actually having an echocardiogram tomorrow morning, and we may know a little bit more on that. I had a CAT scan the other night, so they're on top of it and we're really watching it. So I feel good. I'm ready to go. I want to go for a run actually, but it's too icy out there. So
yes, it is today for sure. Have you now this is a good test for the heart, of course. Have you been watching the Leafs at all?
Yeah.
Because that gets you going every once in a while. I've seen it happen.
But they've been playing well.
They have.
They have kind of sort of.
But there's a couple of guys you want to trade.
My neighbors call and tell me to quiet down because they can hear me shouting across the street here.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know what? I love my Leafs. I can't help myself. I get frustrated. I mean, personally, I would probably trade Marner. People think I'm nuts when I say that, but You know what? He's got 55 points this year, and he's a +2. So that tells me he's on the ice for 53 goals against. You know, I'd rather have a guy that's got 24 points, but he's a +20. You know, I just think he's always thinking offensively, and he makes too many mistakes trying to be special.
Hey, there's no argument from me about him and his Mr. Fancy Pants, I like to call him. And every game, it seems like he's trying a back. Like the other day, he's playing. They have 5 forwards out in the power play. He's playing the point. The puck gets by him. He dives, which he didn't have to do. And then instead of just putting the puck on the board safely, he tries to make that spectacular fancy pants pass across the ice to make it look like he recovered and did a great job. Yeah. Down the ice they go and they get a goal. Like that's the kind of stuff I can't stand. Shorthanded goal. Exactly.
Yeah. I think maybe that was the one the neighbors called to tell me to shut up because they could hear me that one.
Right. Yeah. Well,
you don't have close neighbors.
No, they're a long way away, so I'm screaming pretty loud.
It echoes out there in rural Ontario. There's an echo for sure.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm obviously looking at them from afar and kind of a little concerned with the severe downtick in goaltending quality. And Matt Murray had his first, I would say, really tough night. The start of the season, the whole team was a little messy, but he had a tough night the other night. 4 goals on 10 shots, not great. But they managed to come back and win that game. They won that game. And Willie Stiles, what's your opinion on him? Because Nylander was the punching bag for a good number of years, and now he's having a career year. He's having a better year than Austin Matthews is. And what are your thoughts there, Doigie? Are they going to be able to keep this guy because the cap's not going anywhere?
That's the tough part. If you had asked me 3 years ago, I would have traded Nylander in a heartbeat. And now
everyone would have.
Yeah, and now there's no chance I'd let him go. He's right. Turning into that. He's the guy I'm talking about where, he's getting lots of points, but he's also +25 right now. Last time I looked, right? So that's the player I want on my team. And he's scoring timely goals. He's working harder. I like what I see. I think he's just going to grow into get better and better and better. One of the problems with trading Marner, which is something that I've said, is that would worry me from the perspective that if they trade Marner, I don't think Matthews would sign back in Toronto. So to me, that would be
that's a
they're not trading
sentiment.
Marner. I just don't see it.
Well,
I don't see it.
He has kind of become the Robin to his Batman, if you will, the Backstrom to his Ovechkin.
Yep.
He's his guy, and what I'll say, and I say it to everybody, they were talking about doing that down in the District of Columbia for a long time too, and they didn't, and they won. So I don't know. Those star players, because Marner is a star in terms of generating points and generating offense, which you do need to do to win games. You can be a great defensive team and lose 2-1 every night. You have to score. And he is a very good point producer. He gets his cookies.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Absolutely.
So they are hard to replace. You can find third pair defensemen that'll rough guys up.
Yeah.
It's hard to find the flashy guys.
And it would be very hard to win a trade when you trade Mitch Marner. And that's the problem. You're like, if you get Bull Horvat,
so now you're talking about a pretty, you'd have to
be able to re-sign him. You would have to have a deal.
You're talking about being in a similar position, right? Because say it is a Bo Horvat thing. You save some money now in the immediate term, but you got to re-sign that guy, and he's having a career year, and he's going to want 8.5 or 9. Right. So I mean, markedly in terms of cost, what's the difference, right? Marner's making 10.6 something. I mean, you're saving what?
They're not
$2 million. I don't think so either. I do want your opinion though, of both you guys on this.
Let me finish off on Nylander before you go any further. Here's the difference with Nylander in my mind.
Yep.
In years past, Willie Nylander comes down the boards, tries to beat a guy one-on-one, 9 times out of 10, stops on the boards, spins around, and looks for a pass. Now he's putting his head down, his shoulder down, and driving to the net. That's the biggest difference, and it's paying off for him big time.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah. His OT winner against Florida, like he put his head down, made the power move to the net.
Yeah.
We need more of that out of Willie. I saw this the other day because, again, it comes up with all these rumors are flying around Horvat, around Chychrun, around O'Reilly, all these guys that are making good money right now. And how's an NHL team going to figure this out and acquire one of these guys? The hard cap, I hate it. Eric Macramella tweeted this, and I know Carlo Koliakovo was going off about it. We got to have Carlo back on soon. 12 NHL teams have no cap space. 17 have players stashed on long-term injured reserve. 27 teams have less than $3 million in cap space, which is a majority of the league. Many teams want to make trades, but can't because of the cap. Player movement is great for the game and generates interest. It's time for a more flexible approach to the cap. What say both of you? Doigy, what's your thought on that?
I think that we need to do something, either raise the cap space quite a bit, or maybe bring in a clause that every year you can buy out 2 guys. Just completely buy them out, ship them off, retire them, whatever you want to do to open up cap space. Basically, that's what they're doing when they throw them on long-term injured reserve, right? That's all they're doing. Like Muzzin, his cap space doesn't count right now until he comes back. Well, he won't come back until the playoffs. And then it doesn't count at all, right? If he ever comes back, right? So, yeah, I agree. They got to figure out a way to either raise the cap or allow the teams to somehow circumvent some of the cap space. I don't know how you do that, but
I just feel, and I don't think they're going to do it because the owners have, after the 2004 lockout, they've seized too much power. They've got this CBA where they're not going to walk back the spending. And this is Gary's world, and he works for the owners. And I would like to see a luxury tax system where you can spend within maybe a $15 million threshold, and you can only do it for a certain period of time. We'll even work with you, Gare. We'll work with you. Let's find a compromise. Maybe you can only spend in that luxury tax. Maybe you can only go into the luxury tax for 3 years. Say you can spend into the luxury tax, and then you got to come back down to regular cap. Even something like that would be amazing for a team like the Leafs, who are in go for it mode with their young core. 3 years where, say, the Leafs could spend 95, 98 million, say. That would be of a benefit. I just thought of that off the top of my head. I got ideas, Gary. Give me a ring.
But you got to also think that even the lesser lights right now want to spark some trades, and they just can't happen. All the teams' hands are tied because of the salary cap. And there's got to be something that gives, because it's a boring league right now when it comes off the ice. And so many fans like that. They like it. They want to see trades.
Yep. We do. We do want to see trades. It's boring. I remember back, it didn't work out great, but I remember as a little kid being 11 or 12 and the Caps got Yager. And I was over the moon because he was my favorite player when I was a little kid, funnily enough, playing for Pittsburgh. I loved Yager. I was so excited running around my parents' basement pretending I was Yager that day, shooting on our mini stick net. I was over the moon. I couldn't believe Yager was the Capital. Didn't work out great. But what a day. It was so good.
And Doig, you and I both would love to see a guy from your area, Ryan O'Reilly, come to the Maple Leafs.
That's what I'm saying. I would love to have him come and play. And yeah, if we could do something with that cap space. But I think as much as with the cap space, we need to the NHL seriously needs to look at how they do their playoff format. Because once again, this year, potentially 2 of the best teams in the NHL are going to be out in the first round, between Boston, Tampa, and Toronto, right? One of them will definitely be out. And if the other top team happens to get upset, now all of a sudden, after the first round, you've got 2 of the best teams in the league out of the playoffs. Yeah. Let's get back to a 1-8, 2-7 format instead of this thing that they got going now.
I
sounds so simple.
Too. No, it does. It does sound simple. Come on, Gary. And I always struggle with this argument. And I was listening to Darren Dreger on Overdrive the other day, talking with the guys about it, where he goes, and I understand this, where he goes, well, Gary, his position is that he is defending and protecting GMs and owners from themselves, kind of referencing the Minnesota contracts, the big 11-year Suter and Parise deal. But I don't care. As a fan, everything keeps getting more expensive. It's more expensive than it's ever been to be a fan of the game, let alone go to a game, particularly for you guys as Leaf fans. I don't give a damn that the multi-billion-dollar owner of my franchise 3 years down the road feels upset that he spent too much money on some guy. I don't give a rat's ass about that. You have billions of dollars. It cost me an arm and a leg just to come to the game. And you're like, and I'm supposed to feel bad. I'm supposed to feel sad for the billionaire that wasted $30 million on a guy and he didn't get 100 points. What the hell? I don't care. I'm a fan. Figure this out for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have to laugh because Florida the other night, they announced that you could go get tickets to the game for $32 a ticket. Now, I don't know where they were in the arena or anything like that. $32. It costs me more than that to park my car if I go to a Leaf game, right?
It's $50.
Yeah, it's $50 to park your car. So now, you take 4 people to a Florida Panthers game and it's going to cost you $125, give or take, right? Mm-hmm. You go take 4 people to a Maple Leaf game, the cheapest tickets, you're looking at $400 when it's all said and done. Where does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
Right? And the other thing, going back to the cap space and all that, when's the next time we're going to see an 8 or a 9 player trade? Cliff Fletcher. Not going to happen.
No,
it can't.
Can't happen.
It can't under this structure. It just can't happen. It's ridiculous. I don't like it. Say what you will about the way baseball runs things. At least it's a bit more player friendly in terms of the movement. There's got to be a happy medium.
Yeah,
got to be a medium here.
Doig,
that there's going to be some movement in the Live Tour this year.
Oh, I'm sure there will.
Well, no, they're now going to have instead of 48 players, there's 60 players, and each of the teams has the ability to bring another player in. So somebody's injured or whatever, they can bring another player in to play on their team and that for the team events and stuff. So that's interesting. Going back to the golf side of things, I think that those are the types of things that are going to start to happen. And the PGA Tour is going to start to see how successful Live is, and we're going to see, it might take 3 years, but we're going to see a marriage. Look, again, they've already said the majors are going to allow all the Live players to play. If you're qualified to play, you're going to get to play in the Masters and the Open and all that stuff. So, and going back to that, how the Masters would not be the Masters if Patrick Reed, Dustin Johnson, and Cam Smith don't play in it. They're past champions. They got to be able to be there, right? Yeah. So if all of a sudden, just because they're on the Live Tour, they're not being allowed to play, doesn't make any sense to me. You're diluting your product, right? So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, hey, how's the bird feeding going? Have you been outside?
Not much. I was taking it pretty easy, but I was out there today. They're coming along.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We're trading
just like you, Clarky. I have you eating out of the palm of my hand. I'll have you out of the palm of my hand.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
One other golf thing I wanted to touch on, and I was really, really concerned about it. Brooke Henderson, longtime Ping player. She's been with Ping her whole career.
Yep.
She just moved over to TaylorMade.
Mm-hmm.
She moved over to the ball a couple of years ago, and she obviously liked the ball and won with it and everything. And she's gone everything TaylorMade: woods, irons, wedges, putter, everything. And I was very concerned with that. I mean, I'm a Ping person, sponsored by Ping. But Ping. I just looked 5 under 67 today in the opening round. She's got a 1-shot lead. So a lot of times when you make a change to equipment and a different manufacturer, the ball comes off differently. You got to relearn your distances and stuff like that. But clearly she's put in the work and she's ready to go. So I think Brooke's going to have another good year.
Now, just by mentioning a sponsor on the show, that's going to cost you a driver. So We'll see you in the summer. With a nice shiny lefty for me.
No, I can get you a driver, but you're gonna have to swing right-handed.
Maybe I should.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, we should. Well, let's work on fixing your whiskey mitts.
I'm going next week to Punta Cana, boys. I'm going to be golfing every day, so I have a goal in mind where I want to shoot. So we'll see what happens.
Fix the whiskey mitts, brother. Well, then we'll talk about a driver for you. Okay. Doigy, we always love having you on the show, man. I'm so glad that you're healthy and up and at 'em. It's great to see, my friend. We're thinking about you, and it was great to have you on, man. We'll have you on right as golf season starts kicking off. We got to get you back.
Absolutely. You'll have to call me. I'm going to be in Florida for the month of April. So heading down there to work on my game and everything. And, I'll make sure the pool's in the background again, just like last time and everything. And,
maybe we should do a show there, Ryan.
Yeah, you can always fly down and do the show there.
Exactly.
And we'll have to do another one. We'll have to do another one at the simulator in the spring as well. So
absolutely, we got to go back there. Absolutely, yeah. In Florida, yeah, open invitation. Yeah, I don't know. Let's consider it. Doigy, we always appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I always enjoy it, and I look forward to being back. Appreciate it.
Good stuff, my friend. All right. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will talk, as I mentioned earlier, with our friend Alan at the Listowel Squash Courts, one of our great sponsors. And there's plenty of other great news and tidbits around the sports world. Maybe we'll even talk a little more about the Leafs for Clarkie's sake. We'll see next here on Instigating. Welcome back to Instigating with Clarkie and Drury. Ryan Drury still here with Chris Clark. Thanks to our buddy Ian Doig of the Ian Doig Golf Academy, longtime pro golfer, for joining us on the last segment. We're now very pleased to be joined by one of our great friends, one of our great sponsors of this great show, Al McArthur of the Listowel Squash Courts. Al, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing well. Now, before we jumped on, Clarkie was regaling us with another one of his squash glory tales. Quickly break down this for us, Clarkie. I know you like to share about your exploits.
Well, no. Hey, I will admit when I lose as well. But last night I came up on the winning end of a great,
yeah. Just the conversations when you lose aren't as long.
Right. I feel like
Nicole and I got a really good battle last night, and she's beat me the last 3 times out. I beat her in our tournament, then she's beat me the last 3 times. We're like 5. She's 5th in the ladder. I was 10th because I've been bypassing 9, 8, 7, and 6 and keep playing her. And she keeps beating me last night. You know what? Off to a terrible start. I lost the first game 11-1. Won the next 2, and then it went to overtime, or extra points, whatever you call it, 14-12 in game 4. So you play 3 out of 5. So we're at 2-2. Fifth game, I finally beat her. So now I'm in 5th, Ryan. 5th.
Congratulations.
5th.
5th best.
Yeah. Now we did have to make we had to pause a few times because I really thought we were going to have to press the panic button because my heart was racing. So Nicole was probably thinking, oh man, we got to take another break. But I was taking like 10, 15 second breaks. Like it was intense. We had some really good rallies. It was a fun night. We had all the guys were out as well. Jim Chapman and Mike Benjamins, Alec Critchlow, Alex Parkhouse, Ross was there. Steve Sabarin was there. Savvy came. So it was a great night. And you know what? We just played squash for a couple hours and sat around and watched TV. Al's got a nice new TV. It's a big screen in the upstairs of the squash court. Anyway, we're stealing Al's time here. This is about Al, not my winnings.
No, that's
right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you could have gone shorter, but Al.
No, but I won.
Clarkie, Chris Long-Winded Clark for you, ladies and gentlemen. Al, you have a very exciting event coming up this weekend that you'd like to tell us all about. What's going on at the Listowel Squash Courts?
Yeah, so we have a kind of a collaboration event going on Saturday from 10 till 4 with Between the Lines. We're neighbors, so we kind of we're right beside each other. It's ridiculous how close we are. So we do a lot of things together, and this opportunity came to us from a local lady that actually she owns Diana Sweets downtown. So her sister actually is fighting stage 4 breast cancer, and just an awesome soul. Like she's just a lovely story of a lady that does everything for everybody else and is very unselfish. So she came to us and just wanting to know if we could do something for her, some kind of event to both raise funds and awareness. So yeah, Bryce over at Between the Lines and myself, we jumped right on board. Kind of created this event with Tammy. She was there, kind of the head of it and lining everything up. So she's got some terrific sponsors. We have some great things going on. We're going to have gymnastics set up in the one squash court. So for some people that don't know, we do have youth gymnastics that runs out of Listowel squash courts too on the weekends. One court's always open for squashers, but we do give one up for the youth to run a gymnastics program. So that'll be set up. It'll be kind of an open house. You can come and check it out and just kind of see what it's about. There'll be coaches there to answer questions. And then we're going to have a bunch of members playing squash on the other court. So they'll hop off as soon as you come in. And if you want to hop on the court, they'll jump off and let you play, or they'll even play with you. They'll kind of teach you the game, or I can hop on the court with you and kind of teach you what it's all about and give you a breakdown of the facility too. So Between the Lines is going to have a bunch of stuff. They're going to have bubble soccer and badminton, pickleball. They'll have all their stuff set up, batting cages, kind of a family fun day to just try and do some things to create funds for a struggling local female. Yeah.
That's going to be awesome, man. That's going to be Saturday, the 21st of January. When does everything start over at the courts? When can everybody start showing up?
10 a.m. Yep. 10 till
10 a.m.
4. Yep.
And do you have to register or just show up?
Just show up. It's just going to be kind of come and go. There's going to be food trucks out front. A lot of kind of just different things. Just try and bring people in. There's a silent auction table, which has awesome prizes. So come by and check that out. And then, yeah, it's just kind of checking out the facilities too. If you haven't, it's a great opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this. Obviously, this is a tremendous cause, obviously. And if you've got nothing going on, Saturday, the 21st, 10 to 4, like Al just said, head over to Between the Lines and the Listowel squash courts, our great friends. It's going to be an awesome day. I mean, you had me at food trucks and then all this other great stuff. I have to ask you though, seriously, I really want to know this. Because when you put something like a silent auction together, it's hard sometimes to cultivate items of worth. You know what I mean? Something that someone's going to be really interested in. Was it hard for you to convince Hall of Fame squash player Chris Clark to put one of his famed rackets up for the silent auction? And what will the final bid be on Clarky's racket?
It's autographed.
Yeah. I think that's the big question. Is it autographed?
It better be autographed.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Sky's the limit, right? Like some of these people in town. I mean, they got money to burn, and they just want something of his on their wall, and like we all do, right?
Yeah, I'll get rid of mine here that you graciously gifted to me, and
I didn't even notice that. Nice.
It's been there for a while. Yes, look at that thing. A nice Diodora. Beautiful racket.
Diodora.
Yeah, beautiful Diodora. I don't know what yours is, the signed one, Clarky, but what should we open the bidding at? Like, we talking 50, 60 bucks open bid, and then we'll see where we land.
Start a little higher.
That was a $0 or $2 less than I was thinking. Yeah. Well, we can see.
We can. Yeah,
I'm willing to give something if you're looking, and I'll sign it.
We'll feel it out. Yeah.
Maybe Ryan would buy
it. I think about it. I got stuff laying around. You never know. Al, I love it. Just tell us a little bit about, obviously we love the Listowel squash courts. You're a great friend over there. For anybody who's maybe seeing this or hearing about you for the first time right now, where can people go to sign up?
So to come in and check out the courts, you really just have to hop on the website, listowelsquashcourts.ca. You can email me directly, Alan, ALAN, at listowelsquashcourts.ca. Give the phone, just give me a call, 519-418-4444. Just book an appointment if you've never been. Super easy to become a member. And members get 24/7 access, online booking features. It's really just a one-stop shop. I do racket restringing. I have a pro shop there, so anything you really need or could want for squash, If you're serious about it, you can purchase. If you're not serious about it and want to try it out, everything's there free to use that you need. You just need to bring running shoes. That's it.
A couple of things too. I want to mention, first of all, we have a 1 cat limit on the show, Al, and Gilmore is usually here. She's not today, so your cat's allowed over your left shoulder there. So we'll allow your cat today. But secondly, the fun thing about Ryan, about being a member, is we do some outings sometimes. And last week, we actually had the chance to go to Fergus, and it was like a Fergus versus Listowel little fun challenge at the Fergus courts. So that was a real neat thing. We had a 11 passenger van that took us. And it was just a nice evening, and we're going to probably, I don't want to speak for Al, but I think we're going to try to do something for the Fergus club and have them, come down to our club. But it was just a neat night to hang out with your squash buddies and have a couple of pops and play some squash and meet some new people. So we're doing stuff like that. So it's just a great opportunity to get involved. Yeah,
for sure. That club is amazing. They, well established. They have some great members, and it was a fun night. Like you said, we're hoping to do that by monthly actually, and have them down next time and kind of go back and forth and just, it's a nice way to see different people and different ways of play.
Yeah. And they have a doubles court there, which is wild. It's just a wild game. It is squash at the end of the day, but it's very different than single squash. 4 people on the court. They only allow experienced players to do it. I was talking to Leah, who runs the squash courts up there in Fergus. She's a former Ontario champion. Is that right, Al?
I to be honest, I'm not sure. I know she's
she's some sort of former champion of something.
Amazing.
But, so she, hey, we should bring the show up there. I think Whiteman is going strong there in Fergus, so they may want a show up there. So we should get producer Adam to fix us up, and maybe we do a show up there because it would be fun. It is a lot of fun, and the doubles thing is something to watch. I tell you, it is amazing.
It's pretty cool. I would not play up front. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, that's where Clarkie plays. He's the professional here. So we put Clarkie up front.
Yeah.
And he autographs rackets for the kids after, right?
There's a few people I wouldn't want to play with either.
Yes.
Because you could get hurt pretty easily. And sorry for Nicole. I might have hit her last night with the ball.
Ooh, you gotta take that.
He was in my way. Anyway. It's all good. It was the 5th game too.
All in the name of competitiveness. Good for you, Clarkie.
It always comes around to that, doesn't it?
We're excited about this. Good luck with the event on Saturday. This show always debuts first on Friday. So if you're watching this right now, you're listening to this Friday afternoon, you got nothing going on, make some plans. Head over to the Listowel Squash Courts 10-4 on the 21st. And it's all for a great cause. And you can go check out Between the Lines as well. They got all kinds of stuff over there. Batting cages, soccer, the whole deal. Play some squash. You'll wear yourself out. It'll be awesome. Al, thanks so much for doing this, my friend.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you, my friend. All right, we'll take one last quick break and we'll wrap things up here on Instigating. Back to wrap things up here on Instigating with Clarkie and Drury. Ryan Drury, Chris Clark. Thanks again to our friends Ian Doig of the Ian Doig Golf Academy, longtime pro golfer, and of course Al McArthur over at the Listowel Squash Courts. Remember, Saturday, the 21st of January, 10-4. Head over there at the Listowel Squash Courts and Between the Lines. It's going to be a great day.
You may even see Ryan Drury.
I think I'll be over there. I got nothing going on. I'll go over there.
I have to work, or I would. I have to be at Larry Hudson's.
Yeah. There you go. You do have to be at Larry Hudson's. And speaking of Larry Hudson's, our great new friends over there at Larry Hudson's Chevrolet Buick GMC. Clarkie, there's always exciting stuff going on over there. What do you have for us?
Well, I talked last week about our Colorado and Canyon sale, which is still on, but now we're clearing out the 2022 new trucks. So Silverados and Sierras half-ton trucks, interest rate at 1.49. But even better than that, we're offering a free 4-year GM maintenance plan or a 5-year 100,000 kilometer extended warranty. So great opportunity to hop on. There's no difference between the 2022s or the 2023s except for the number of the year. The trucks are identical, and I've been looking myself, Ryan. I might, they have nice trucks over there, and
they do. Didn't you just get a new truck?
No, I got a Terrain. I got a new Terrain, which I like, but I missed my truck. And I've been looking at the Elevation. I love the GMC Elevation Sierra, and we'll see. We'll see if I decide to bite and take advantage of this.
Well, hey, you could sell to yourself, right?
If you have, I can. And if you have a sales rep, please contact them at the dealership, 1-800-350-3325. If you don't, you're looking for someone, I'd be happy to help you. Give me a call at the dealership or come on in and ask for Clarkie.
Clarkie is the guy. Hudson's has it. Remember that there at 1000 Wallace Avenue here in beautiful Listowel, Ontario. I need to ask you really quick, though.
Yeah, I need to ask you something, too.
The Elevation. When you get in and start it up, does it play Elevation by U2 when you start it up? Like, does Bono come on when you hit the ignite?
No, it doesn't.
Are we going to get copyright claim for that?
Yeah. Don't.
I have ideas. I have ideas. GMC, I have ideas. How sick would it be if you opened the It's called the
Elevation. Cost them something. That might cost them a little bit of.
It probably would. Would you give Bono a truck? Like, come on, it's Bono.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Cool. Okay.
I have a question for you. And I'm not the biggest NFL fan, but I have never seen worse time management at end of games than I did this past weekend when I was flipping around and watching the end of some games.
Don't even get me started.
Unbelievable. Like Miami. Like, how does Miami fourth or third? What was it? Third and
fourth and one.
Fourth and one.
Season on the line.
Fourth and one. Their season on the line, and they get a time count violation. Like, it's like unbelievable that happened. And then that's it. They
delay of game too. It was a delay of game after a review to see if they got the first down. So like they had extra time to sit there.
So much time.
Mikey McDaniels was busy huffing on his vape. He was busy huffing on his vape. It was terrible. And the Dallas Cowboys, they won despite their kicker. Boy, did he put on a non-display.
Yeah, he missed 4 out of 5 extra points. That's unbelievable.
It's the first time in NFL history. It's never happened before.
I would
in a playoff game.
I'm surprised they let him kick one. I was watching. You know how ESPN2 during the games will have the Manning brothers, Peyton and
it's
Eli.
The best. Yeah,
right. So I was watching that. And when they got their third touchdown late in the second half, Peyton was like, please don't go for the extra point. Please go for 2. Please go for 2. And then Eli's like, it brought the kicker out. And Peyton's like, throws his arms up, and then he missed it. And he just walked off the set. He goes, I cannot believe that just happened. It was very entertaining. Not only the game was entertaining, but those guys were pretty entertaining as well.
It certainly was. Before we wrap up, I just want to offer again, it's a divisive thing. I don't know why, but this is our show. And if you're still watching, I assume you watch because you want to hear what we think. And the big story in the NHL, unfortunately, was the Ivan Provorov situation the other night. He didn't want to wear the Pride jersey on Pride night that the Flyers hosted. And he, as everyone I'm sure knows by now, he cited his religious beliefs. I just disagree with this. And yes, it's a hard thing to navigate societally because you can have religious beliefs. For me personally, and I'm just speaking on my behalf here, I just don't like when people cite religious beliefs and use them to infringe upon the lives or rights of others to live their life and love who they love. It's never sat well with me. I don't love it. And also the fact that the religious beliefs he's citing, he doesn't practice a lot of the things that are in that religion, but he's happy to point this thing out. And I just think it was a big miss by the Flyers, by him, and the league has a mess on their hands again now. And I just really, it was another moment where I watched and thought, I don't know why anybody from the LGBTQ community would want to be a fan of this game. I just don't. And I want them to be. And I want to do my part. And I think most of us want to do our part to make everybody feel safe and just be a fan. I can see why people wouldn't want to be after a night like that. And I want to just say as well, in closing, I lost a lot of respect for John Tortorella the other night. I really did. That's it. That's all I have to say, because I could rant about this for an hour, and I'm not going to.
Well, they could have fixed it. They could have just said you're no longer a Philadelphia Flyer. Like, it's not that he's a great hockey player.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't go further on it because I'm upset. Yeah, I just don't like it. I disagreed with it. I really did. Yeah. And there's just a long way to go. Yeah. And that's sure. It's 2023, and that's unfortunate that we're still saying that. And anyway,
and there's not an easy segue out of that, but you said there's a long way to go. I'm going a long way away, and I'm going to talk to you next week from sunny Punta Cana, and I will be enjoying every second of it.
Congratulations. Work on those whiskey mitts, my friend. Work on the whiskey mitts.
There you go.
All right. Thank you so much for watching the show. Remember, you can watch the show Friday nights at 8, Sunday nights at 9 with our friends on Whiteman TV, brought to you by our friends at Larry Hudson's. You can watch this Friday nights at 8. That's channel 6 for Whiteman subscribers. We debut on our YouTube channel Friday nights at 9. Follow us on social media at Instigating Pod. Remember, Sunday nights we air at 9 as well on Whiteman, and you can find us on our YouTube channel. Thanks to our great sponsors at Coolbet Canada, our friends at the Listowel Squash Courts, and our friends over at Larry Hudson's Chevy Buick GMC. Hudson's has it. That's it from us this week. Next week, Clarkie, Beachside, Whiskey Mitts. We'll see you then.